Na programação da X-Tech Conference 2017, a gente teve 44 palestrantes em 28 atividades, divididas em 5 trilhas.
Trilha de empreendedorismo, trilha de comunidades, trilha de diversidade, novas tecnologias e também programação para iniciantes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank you for being here. And I would like to thank Dr. Yvonne Cagle and Catherine Fezet for invitation. My name is Ciranda de Morais, and I started a project in Brazil. And today, there are many fantastic women from Brazil here. The name is She's Tech. Why She's Tech? The name came from a dream, an inspiration. When I woke up, I thought, that's it. She's Tech, period. It's about women supporting other women. And the logo is inspired on the periodic table, meaning that tech is part of women. And the violet dot, it means no discussion. Our goal is to strengthen the position and increase the number of women in technology. We have 3 pillars: inspire, engage, and empower. We act promoting events to increase our representation and to create a network of connections and support. Also, work for awareness of the market about diversity and inclusion, and we stimulate self-acceleration. One of our next step is create X-Tech Academy, offering courses to introduce women to the tech world in technical areas for beginners, new technologies, and startup entrepreneurship. In 20 months, we had more than 90 hours of content, 1,500 people attending our events, and more than 100,000 impacted. Men are welcome. We support the UN campaign, He for She, and we call them to build a new world together. How did you get here? The first step was talk to people. I had to meet as many women in tech I could, and I understand their world and seek support. In the first meetup, we had 8 speakers. One of them is here today, Andrea Mota, and 36 people attending. Then it began to make sense. We believe that partnerships with other women's communities, acceleration programs, colleges, and the government were and are essential to build X-Tech. The second step was to create events for different audiences that connect people and ideas, improve work environment through diversity and inclusion, celebrate Women Global Entrepreneurship Day, and to inspire and motivate women. We understand that target events and specific campaigns can communicate much better with the audience. For instance, at Women International Day this year, we impacted 88,000 people with our campaign with 6 different cards. I don't want gifts, I want respect. I don't want chocolate. I want you to stop interrupting me when I speak. I don't want flowers. I want you to stop explaining me what I already know. I don't want perfume. I want you to stop appropriating of my ideas. And I don't want tribute. I want equality every day. In the last one, I don't want celebration. I want you to know that March 8 is a day of union, struggle, and mourning for the women who died in 1911 in a fabric factory in New York. Maybe you are thinking, who am I? I have a degree in communication, and my dream was to have a master's degree in Europe, but I hadn't found my purpose yet. I always say I was illiterate 4 times in my life. In Europe, when I had to live in Barcelona, without speaking Spanish, then I discovered people spoke Catalan there. Then I went to London without speaking English. So I went to Italy. Even my Italian descendants, I didn't speak Italian. And it was a pleasure to learn it. And I did my master's degree in sustainable development at Bologna University. And still, I went to live in Copenhagen without speaking Spanish. But this one, I did not have time to learn. And now, I am in tech, and I don't code. I really like a phrase that says, a baby bird, when it's learning how to fly, knows more about courage than flying. Today I say, I know more about courage than technology. And now, let's talk about the tech ecosystem in Brazil. I wanted to work with tech since 2010. I didn't know anybody in the area, and it took me 6 years to give the first step. Actually, I didn't even know that I could get there. I did some courses, attended tech events. Incredible. There were very few women, sometimes less than 10%. In a pre-acceleration program, out of 43 startups, only 5 CEO were female. I was completely out of my comfort zone. Now I am out of my comfort zone. I am speaking Brazilian English. Actually, when I became part of this world, I was afraid. In my head, tech careers are for boys. But I did not intend to code. I wanted to be a tech entrepreneur. I thought I could do this easily, but it wasn't so simple. I discovered that women are avid tech consumers, but are not producing, even working in this area in the same proportion. The male environment was interfering in my results, and I thought I had to do something. Women have to stick together, and I started She's Tech. We have learned a lot about the glass ceiling, barriers that don't allow women to rise to top positions in companies, or also about the Labyrinth phenomenon. They reach top positions, but following a winding path to get there. But in tech, we are not even getting in. So let's talk about the glass doors. The invisible barriers that keep us out of technology and different stages of our lives. Many stages, many doors. Childhood, adolescence, university, industry, investors, and our own behavior. Many of us wonder why women are not in tech. And I say, because the glass door is closed and you cannot see. We have to go through them every day. Who will break them? In our family, when we make a career choice, we come up against the lack of support and representation. We are questioned, can women handle that? Representation is important. Nowadays, our girls dream to be bloggers and YouTubers. Do you know why? Because there are many women there. That's the way it is. There is no support for women in tech careers, because society does not recognize STEM-related courses as courses for women. These stereotypes influence a child's choice. When we go to the university, we come across a mostly male-occupied territory, which in many cases does not promote the inclusion of women students. In testimonials, I came across reports like the approach of a teacher who asked a female student, "What are you still doing here?" Or when she had a question, the teacher said, "You should already know this." In sexist environment, women who don't become part of the brotherhood or accept their jokes are isolated from the group. And then we enter the industry. Again, lack of representation. In companies, in events, the sexist work environment, lack of assertive feedbacks. Women are not always invited to the famous happy hours. And when they show up, they have to deal with jokes and men hitting on them. So, we deliver value. We work hard in our startups and we seek investment. It was concluded. Birds of a feather flock together. And I ask, who are the owners of funds? And who are the managers of these funds? If you thought of white men, you are right. only 4% of venture capital funds are invested in startups with female founders. And now some women hire white men to do business for them. That sounds absurd, doesn't it? Moreover, we have less visibility in investors' events, and we still have to listen to men hitting on us in this environment. Can you see these glass doors as well? Sometimes they are obvious, but sometimes subliminal. Data from the World Economic Forum predict that 95 years will be needed for women to be in the same economic conditions as men. And if women stay out of tech, this gap will get bigger. But the most interesting thing about this is that it's a given future. And if you are talking about the future, we can change it. This data brings a big question. What are you doing to change it? What can you do starting today? From now on, when you leave this session, so I have to go back to the first glass door that we see in childhood. Have you already looked for toys for girls on internet? What do you see? There are little stoves, fridges, brooms, a lot of things that don't stimulate logical thinking. Since 1985, when personal computers have been invented, advertising has put technology as something for boys. Who doesn't remember that the computer was always in the brother's room? And the video game, too. Since then, we have been distanced from tech. Okay, let's make a commitment. We are responsible for what our children will be in the future. Stimulate other skills for girls is necessary with STEM toys. I always say, today we are living the results of a cultural construction. There is no victims, there is no poor girls and bad guys. There is only our commitment to change this situation. The stereotypes must be undone. When it's time to choose a career, we have women careers and men careers. Our second commitment today is to take the professions out of the pink and blue boxes. More than this, it's time to end this division of colors and influence our young people to be what they want. And the last door is our own behavior, our limiting beliefs. If you want to be in tech, it will be necessary to get out of the comfort zone. Women take part in professional associations and community much less than men. Men have already understood the importance of this. Men keep in touch with friends from school, from college, jobs, old jobs, football, bowling, etc. Men are always in touch, and it can generate new business or a next step in their careers, or a partnership as well. So, I call you women. We must find mentors, look for reference, think how want to be seen in 5 years from today. Connect to other women, share your ideas, your pain, your success, create a support network. Help among women is one of the greatest assets. And courage. Always encourage girls. Encourage yourselves. Like the bird learning how to fly. Have you ever seen if your boy falls off a bicycle? The parents will soon arrive and say, get up, it was nothing. But if it happens to a girl and she cries, everyone says, oh, come here, princess. Next time you have to be more careful. And we are more and more careful until we lose the courage to risk. We can't make mistakes. We have to be perfect all the time. So I say, if you fail, that's not wrong. Get up. It was nothing. Let's try again. Let's go together. There is no right time, no perfect moment, and don't be afraid to make a mistake. Even more, in tech world, go fast, fail fast, fix it fast, and start over. If I had been wait for the right moment, I would not be here today. I would not have spoken in a TEDx this year. And I would have promoted the XTech Conference 2017, which became the largest event for women tech in Brazil. In the first year, there were only 5 speakers in this fair. But last year, we put 44 speakers on the stage. It was in 3 days of activities in the largest tech fair in Brazil. Now, if you are already in tech, you are on the front line. You have passed and gone through these doors every day, opening or breaking these invisible barriers. You have to be committed, inspire other women. You have a very important role in our inclusion in the tech revolution. The most important thing here is identify all these glass doors, because this is the first step to change things. Maybe you are thinking that I am talking about the tech sector, or about girls and boys, men and women. Much more than this, I am talking about people. It's all about people and their possibilities and opportunities, because we cannot be what we cannot see. If I had been and we cannot change something that we don't recognize it. So, if from now you can see all these glass doors, you can break them. Remember, she who fails fast arrives first. And now I will leave just 2 more questions. Who will break the glass doors? Who will come with me?